Hello, this is Brian Rowe with Mythic MTG Tech doing a list of the top 10 amazing budget white EDH cards. I'm trying to keep everything here under $5, and I've got a special emphasis to make sure that some of the cards are under $2 for people playing the new $2 EDH format. The honorable mentions here, one of them is just barely over $5 right now, which is White Orchid Knight. The Knight is incredible. It's one of the few ramp spells out there in white. I've got Armageddon here on the honorable mention just because it's a really mean card. It doesn't fit the interactive playstyle that I like, but I would feel bad leaving it off the list entirely. Revlark is also on here because it's combo bait. Great card, definitely worth checking out, but I've definitely seen people combo off with it. I'm also trying to emphasize things that are a little bit different than my top 10 white EDH cards. So there's a few that I left off that are over on that list. Obilation is incredible removal. It's great to hit people's commanders, and it's down at 50 cents. Anytime you can shuffle a commander in, it gives you a huge strategic advantage. In the number 9 spot here, I've got Porphyry Nodes. I'm shocked that it is this low at $3. It's basically the time-shifted version of Drop of Honey. It could shoot way up when Modern Masters 2 comes out. Now would be the time to pick it up. It's a very powerful card. In the number 8 spot here, I've got two generals that are at this very low price, Kataki and Hokori. They're hate cards. They will draw you a lot of attention, but they're both very, very powerful cards. In the number 7 spot here, I've got Angel of Serenity. Someone over at Magic the Seattling suggested this card, and I had to go look it up to see how cheap it was. I remember this being a $20 card. Now's a great time to pick it up. It is super powerful in EDH. In the number 6 spot here, I've got Cloudgoat Ranger. I like making tokens a lot in EDH, and this gets you tokens and a creature to go with it. Little bit high casting cost, but in the right deck, it's well worth playing. The number 5 spot here, I've got Wing Shards. Wing Shards has wiped entire teams of opponents. I really like this card a lot. It's a solid alternative to Swords to Plowshares. Swords to Plowshares is down there around the $5 level, so it's definitely a very playable card because of the exile. But the sacrifice can hit hexproof creatures also. I like Wing Shards more. Terminus, incredible spell, only $3. I have no idea how one of the best board wipes ever printed that's legacy playable is this cheap. Number 3 spot here, I've got Crackdown. This seems to be a fun police list, as white is really the best at policing fun, and Crackdown just can lock out an entire table. Blind Obedience is just a powerhouse. People really underestimate this card. Gaining life off of everybody at the table is great. Having their creatures come into play tapped stops a lot of ridiculous combos and often slows people down a turn. Artifacts enter the battlefield tapped also, so ramp doesn't instantaneously work that turn. Great card, strongly recommended. It is playable in mono white. I feel a little bad if I'm not playing it in a white-black deck, but not too bad enough to pull it. At number 1 is Eternal Dragon. I don't know why every white deck doesn't have this card. Worst case, you plain cycle it and get a plains, you never hit 5 mana. If you can hit 5 mana, you're going to get a land every turn for the rest of the game. It's also one of those threats that's very, very tough for a blue deck to deal with because you're bringing it back and you're putting it out every time. It's additional card advantage. It's filtering of your deck. I really like this guy. He's extremely inexpensive. Please leave your comments of amazing budget white cards that I missed. Thank you to everybody who's over there on Patreon. We've got a bunch of videos coming up this week, including the Ask Anything.